This is another episode of my channel. This is talking about mindfulness, which is a buzzword, has been a buzzword from pandemic. When the pandemic started, everybody was talking about mindfulness. So I was just going to go through and explain to you guys what they mean by being mindful, especially in this era of too much coming at you, social media. You have to check this, you have to check that, you're not present. Some people drive to work, they find themselves at work, but they didn't enjoy the ride to work because they were not fully present there. Sometimes you're checking your emails, checking text messages on your way there, so you're basically doing one or two things on your way to where you're going and not being present for the ride to work. So you miss out on the whatever it is that's there, the road, the traffic, the people around you on the road. So mindfulness kind of gives you a sense of centering, which a lot of people need because everything is so overwhelming. Mindfulness gives you a sense of centering. So here is how they explain it to be. Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be present in the moment, know what you're doing, and not be overly reactive to what's going on around you. That's the basic explanation of what mindfulness is. What's going on? Do not be overwhelmed by what's going on around us. If we center ourselves, then the noise, there's too much noise going on. Then you can even think better when you're mindful of what's going on around you. So there are benefits to mindfulness. I mean, the best example I could give of mindfulness is meditation for the ones who meditate. Meditation is a centering practice that you sit in silence. There are two types of meditation: sit in silence and meditate. And there's the guided meditation where you're listening to somebody explaining you through the steps. Now close your eyes, now think of a place that's far away, and they kind of walk you through the meditation. But there are those people who do the silent meditation. It doesn't come easy. It's not when you first start it. After a few sessions you'll get it, where the mind stops chattering. Most of us, by the time you sit in silence, you remember everything you haven't done, your to-do list, and then the mind is wandering off. Even if you're in a class, you're listening and the mind is wandering off. So the best way to do it, if your mind chatters that much, is to do a guided meditation. For those who are able to sit in silence or have mastered the art of sitting in silence, because it's a practice, it takes a little bit of time before your mind stops running over your to-do lists and wondering what else you need to do. For those who have mastered it, best thing is to sit in silence. Most people like to do it in the morning, reason being their mind is still fresh and they can have good ideas and they haven't checked their phones. The idea is to do it in the morning before you check your phones, your messages, and get into the work thing. So best time to do it is morning. There are people who do it in the evening, whatever works for you, but the best benefits are usually said that morning meditation is better for you. There are benefits to this mindfulness practice. We all know it reduces stress. As I said earlier, it also centers you. You gain insight and awareness because it's in silence that you get great ideas. It's in silence that you build yourself up. And the reason you gain insight and awareness through observing your own mind is everything else is closed up at that time and you can think clearly. But what we do, or what we look at doing, is we feel great that we are multitasking, but are we really effective, as in doing several things and not concentrating on one? Other than if we were mindful and thought about it, it would take less time and we would be more efficient in whatever it is we are doing. Another benefit is it increases our attention to other people's well-being. So you're present for feelings of other people, or generally how they are doing, not necessarily their feelings, generally how they are doing. So that is another benefit. Another benefit is it helps people deal with stress better. That's another benefit of mindfulness. Some people do group mindfulness where you go in as a group, sit in silence, and you have a teacher or somebody who's walking you through it too. So you can do single ones at home by yourself starting out, or you can do group ones, or you can do guided meditation. There's so many meditation apps. Whichever app speaks to you, you can choose it and use it, and it will walk you through the steps. Start with a few minutes a day, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You'll increase it as you become more comfortable in your practice, or more comfortable in your silence, so to speak, for the ones who do silent meditation. But for the ones who do guided meditation, you will increase the minutes on the app as comfortably as you get. But it's a good centering practice in this era of television, news, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all these things coming at you. You need that centering mind. I find like the extras cause a lot of stress. They cause a lot of stress. If you're not good enough to center yourself, then too much coming at you is stressful. I don't think we were created that way. I don't think that was the creation meant to be that overwhelming. I think there's power in silence. For those who grew up on farms, I grew up on a farm, so I can imagine sitting under a tree. I don't remember it being that chattering. I don't remember my brain running that much a mile on the farm. It was the most calming experience. After lunch, you sit under a tree and relax. And that comes to full circle here when everybody stops the hustle and bustle and always travels somewhere else for vacation. That can also be for people who take some time off in the day just to center themselves. There are people who are really good in the middle of the day in the office. They'll go into this stance for 5 minutes, shut out everything else coming in, and do their 5 minutes of meditation like nothing happened. But I think we were not meant to have so much coming at us. It's a source of stress. So meditation is good. Quiet, sitting in silence is a gift, actually. It's a gift if you can sit with yourself in silence. You're always doing something. You're checking your phone, you're calling somebody, you're talking to somebody. Sitting in silence has its power. So it's something we should practice more. I have 8 facts about mindfulness that I got from, what was this? The CDC website. That's what they say. Mindfulness is innate. Innate meaning we have it in us. We just need to find that space-time where we sit in silence and switch off everything around us. Not necessarily switch it off like a switch, but the power of the mind, where you silence yourself for a minute and get to your own feelings and sitting with yourself. It's not a special thing we do. We already have the capacity to be present. You don't have to change anything. You were born with the capacity to be present, so you're not changing anything. What you're changing is shutting out the outside noise. Another point, mindfulness recognizes and cultivates the best of who we are as human beings. It cultivates the best of who we are as human beings. Another point is mindfulness is transformative and has the potential to be more transformative if we give it the time. That's a benefit too. Another one is anyone can do it. You don't need a gadget to do mindfulness. You can sit. You don't even need that cell phone to be mindful. You can sit in silence, and there goes your mindfulness. You don't need anything extra, nothing. Some people sit on pillows. Some people sit on the side of the bed when they wake up. Some people sit on their bed cross-legged, and that's all you need to be mindful. So you're not buying any extra mat or whatever to sit on that is special for mindfulness. No, it comes that easy. Mindfulness it brings awareness and caring in everything we do. That's another point. It's evidence-based because now science is doing research and is saying people who practice mindfulness are more effective in their jobs. It also benefits us in our health, happiness, and work relationships. So you're able to foster better relationships, whatever it is, personal life, work, everywhere. Those are the benefits. And the last one is it sparks innovation. As I said, in silence, you do get amazing ideas. Innovation, it can lead us to be effective, resilient, low-cost response to seemingly big problems. So you can solve a lot of problems if you get mindful. Sit in silence. The best way I could teach you about mindfulness is meditation. I don't know how to meditate on my own. I have the chattering to-do list in my head. So I do guided meditation, was on it, came off of it, and then back on it now. But mine is guided. So I use an app. There are a million apps for guided meditation. And I go by the directions. But on my own, chattering mind, I'm remembering everything I have to do. So it's better for me to use the guided one. It's a good practice to adapt. It's a good practice to adapt. Anytime you read about the rich people, successful people, most of them, besides physical, financial health, and all the 8 self-care aspects we discussed last week, meditation and mindfulness is part of it. So it's a practicing thing. The best example I can give you is Phil, the Lakers coach. He used mindfulness on his players, and as you can see his track record, he won 11 championships. He had a mindfulness coach, and he used it on his players, which, if I can remember, was Shaquille O'Neal. There were 3 of them: Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and I think Michael Jordan. Yes, I remember them. Literally, I was listening to that today. So he had a meditation coach who coached him, and see, that is how he became successful. He went ahead and won 11 NBA championships. And who was under him those times? Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant, who are great players. So we could say we see the benefit to that. I wish you guys an amazing week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.